I'm Sheilaa Hite, astrologer, tarot master, mentor, medium, spellcaster, and all around magical being. And I'm here tonight to talk to you about June 2020. This month is a game changer. And I'll begin with a quote. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good people to do nothing. And that's where we are now. June is an opportunity to do something and something meaningful. So let us begin. Today is June 1st. On June 3rd, the planet Venus, the planet of relationships, of love, of women, and of pretty things, is going to come together with the sun, the two of them together. When Venus and the sun come together, we have an opportunity to see ourselves, our true selves, reflected in what we do and how we do it, and the people that we deal with and the people we allow to deal with us. So take a good look at your relationships. Is there something or someone, a quality you want more of in your life? Then go for it. Is there something or someone or a quality you don't want more of in your life? Get rid of it. Not get rid of it because it doesn't work. Just let it go. So, June will be a very exciting month because there are a lot of opportunities to do just that. So, starting off in a couple of days, June 3rd, Venus together with the Sun. Then we move to June 5th, which is a big day. June 5th is our first full moon of, well, it's our first full moon and our only full moon of the month of June. And it is conjunct, well, it's not conjunct anything, it's opposite something. And what it's opposite, most of all, is the sun. So full moons are opposite the sun. And that means if there's the opposition of the light and the opposition of the shadow, that means that both of them, there's a tense relationship. And both of them have something to say. And you're in the middle of this relationship. And what you've got to do is you have to determine what it is you have to say. And between the three of you, the sun and the full moon and yourself, there's great communication from the universe to you and from you to the universe. We are right now in trying, interesting times. And this full moon that's coming up is perfect for explaining and displaying who we truly are to ourselves and to others. This full moon is also notable because there will be a lunar eclipse. And an eclipse is an amazingly intense time. It's a time when all of the energy of the universe comes together to express itself. And lunar eclipses are about exposing the ugly and getting rid of it. And the ugly sometimes has a very benign appearance. Doesn't really look that different from the beautiful. But this is a time to shine, to look at yourself. Remember the first aspect I spoke about. The sun and Venus coming together. Venus is like a hand mirror. The sun is light. So you're going to look into that hand mirror and you're going to be able to see yourself. My question is, will you be honest about what you see? And will you be non-judgmental? And will you take appropriate action? We will know by the way things shake out a couple of days later with this full moon and the lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipses are great. They're great for housekeeping. So if you're honest about what you have to get rid of, or even honest about the fact that you have to get rid of something, the universe will help you decide what it is and it'll take it away for you. It's a very important time for you to pay attention, and it's especially important for Sagittarians, for Geminis, for Virgos, and for Pisces. It's important for all of us, but especially important for those signs. Or if you have those, if you have planets in those signs, prominent planets, if you have a Pisces moon or Virgo rising, or Venus in Gemini, or Mars in Sagittarius, or any number of things that can possibly show up with those four signs. Pay attention because the universe is talking to you. It's talking to all of us, but it's really also talking to you. This is a time to be methodical, to analyze, to discern, to meditate, to hold your own counsel. This isn't the best time for you to be shouting out your opinion. You can, when I say hold your own counsel, I mean know your truth. If the discussion comes up, that is not shouting. If the discussion comes up, speak your truth. This is extremely important because it's a type of active acting meditation where you are your truth and you are speaking your truth. And that way we begin to resolve our issues and heal our wounds. It's a very important time. So much is being exposed now, and it's going to continue being exposed. How are you going to choose for yourself? Then the next thing that we're looking for is as we move through this full moon lunar eclipse cycle, is it's time for you to find someone you respond to, someone you respect, someone who's wiser than you. Not necessarily wiser in every instance, but has a track record of being wiser than you. Consult them, uh, ask them to be your mentor, ask them to join with you and help you move through this period of releasing what is no longer yours, what no longer works, and of standing there, not necessarily taking anything on right away, but standing there without your old props, without your old tools. As a friend of mine said today, our operating systems are no longer viable. She said, we are really being upgraded and we don't really know how to deal with that. Well, we've never been upgraded in a way that we're being upgraded now. But our computer is still good. We just need to learn how to get it to work more smoothly. So on June 13th, we have another big combination. We've got another conjunction. Conjunction in astrology means together. It means two energies, two or more energies are working together. Those energies on June 13th, Mars, how we get things done, how we take action, and Neptune, how our soul responds to life, how we dream and drift through life. So Mars is direct. Mars likes to let's just make some boundaries here. Let's take some action. Let's look for these results. Neptune knows nothing about boundaries. Neptune is the fog and it's very dreamy. So you've got Mars ready to go and Neptune, why do we have to go? That means that there's something within you that's operating and you need to be conscious of it. You need to pay attention. This is not a time to be signing pieces of paper unless you've got at least three experts. This is not a time to be making all kinds of promises that you know you can't possibly keep. And this is not a time to take on more than you can handle. So and by that, it's really important. Instead of proving that you can lift 150 pounds, let's be grateful that you can lift 5, 10, 20 pounds. And instead of strenuous exercise, let's make it consistent exercise. Consistently look at who you are, how you operate, what works, what doesn't work, who's around you, who you'd like to have around you, what you know it'll take to have those people around you. This is a time to be conscious of everything. Neptune also rules the soul. Neptune rules a link between you and the divine. So it doesn't have to be hard. You need to listen. You need to go within. You need to meditate. You need to actually ask for guidance. And this is about asking for guidance on an inner level. A minute ago, I said ask for guidance on an outer level. It's called a mentor. Also, ask for guidance on an inner level because this is a great time for mentorship for you. So, June 13th is pretty phenomenal. Whatever issues you have about your boundaries and how they're not being acknowledged or appreciated or accepted, a lot will come out this month about that. So determine what you want your boundaries to be, and there is no price that can be paid to cross your boundaries if you're going to be true to yourself. The next big, big one is Mercury, the planet of communication, Mercury, the planet of plans, of roadways. Mercury is going to go retrograde again. It does it 3 or 4 times a year. Retrograde means that the energy of that planet, instead of going outward, is coming in. So again, you're being told, well, what's in here? What's in this package? What are you thinking? How are you thinking? So this month is a really important Mercury retrograde because it's going to involve the cardinal signs. When I spoke before about Sagittarius, Gemini, Virgo, and Pisces, those are the mutable signs, the communicators. The cardinal signs are the initiators, the leaders, the explorers. The cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. So if you are one of those four signs, or you have personal planets in one of those four signs, this Mercury retrograde is going to be very impactful for you. What you really want to do for yourself is you really do want to know that deep introspection is important and holding who you are is important. Well, how do you know who you are if you're just starting deep introspection? Where you are now, where you begin the introspection, what area of your life, that's the most important area for you at this time. Go within. Is it personal? Is it spiritual? Is it professional? Is it creative? Go there. Stand there and see what the universe is holding out for you. Start your introspection from there. It's also a time because the qualities of Mercury for the next 4 months. So Mercury is communication, roadways, plans. For the next 4 months, Mercury is going to be very important. This is an excellent time to start an important project. You'll know it's important because you want to start it. You want to put your heart into it. So, have you been thinking about writing your memoirs? Good time to do it. Have you been thinking about making your own Facebook video? Good time to do it. Have you been thinking about taking that public speaking course or learning to play chess or anything that has to do with the interaction, Mercury, of one entity with another? Let's get started because this next 4 month period is really going to work well for you if you do. The next thing we're looking at is June 21st. That is the first day of summer. It is the summer solstice, and it is also the new moon and the solar eclipse. A lot all happening in one day. And really great. It's summer for us, and below the equator, it's winter for others. However, I'm going to speak to summer and winter at the same time. If the eclipse is there, it's a solar eclipse no matter where you are. So it is about taking on new. It's about entering into a new relationship, entering into new commitments with yourself. It's really about that. So this next few weeks from now until actually the end of June will be chock full of newness and power and responsibility to that power from you. This is a time when we'll take a look at that solar eclipse. It also joins with the North Node. In astrology, There's the North Node and there's the South Node. And the North Node is the new way, the way of beginning. So I'll read from my notes here. The North Node eclipses are opportunities to rewrite the script of your destiny. What that means is the South Node is what you came here with. It's your stuff. Some of your stuff is great. Keep that. Some of it, not so much. Let's get rid of that. Let's offload that. The North Node then comes and it says, well, what are we going to do? How are we going to rewrite your story? How are we going to take your personal legend and really expand on that? How are we going to really tap into your greatness? And the North Node comes up with this whole new plan. And all you have to do is work the plan. It's going to be fantastic. A little stressful at times because it's new, but you've dealt with new before, and new becomes comfortable as you surrender to it. As long as you fight new, that's what you'll get, a fight. But when you surrender to new, it becomes comfortable and you expand, you grow, you learn a lot, you evolve, you transform. This eclipse, now the eclipse is one of the most intense things we can experience. And this eclipse involves a square to Mars. Well, Mars is kind of square energy, so confrontational. And so this eclipse, extreme times, confrontational, explosive energy, all of that happening. However, you are in charge of what happens when that happens. It doesn't have to happen to you. You can ride this wave. The wave is coming. Ride the wave. So, one of the things you can do is you can begin to, again, think about what you want, discern what is correct for you, and then operate in such a fashion that the universe reflects the respect you're showing yourself. And as it reflects that back to you, then you reflect that out into the world. It's very simple. You really do need to do the right thing now. But the right thing isn't right according to somebody else's idea of right. It's according to you and your soul and this new, strong, powerful direction you're moving in. Then we move to a day that we've been looking forward to. We move to June 25th. June 25th, the planet Venus, which has been retrograde for weeks now, is going to go direct. Now, yes, I know that unfortunately Mercury has just gone retrograde. So for about a week, we're going to have Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde. And that is definitely going to be a time to simply be introspective, plan what you want your world to look like, and sit there with it and take small steps, but consistent steps. And then we have Venus finally on the 25th will leave its retrograde action and it will head in a direct motion. Wow, some breathing room available to you. Now, not completely open because Mercury is retrograde, but certainly better than two important personal planets kind of closing you off. You'll get to open up. You'll get to make different kinds of choices. You'll get to receive more of what you like to receive, provided, of course, you're putting the energy into being honest with yourself. So for 42 days, Venus, the planet of values, especially self values, was going retrograde. That meant we had to look at ourselves. We had to sort through. So on June 25th, the 42 days will be up, and hopefully we will have sorted through and determined our truth and the direction of our lives based on that truth. On June 28th, a big thing happens. Like this whole month is full of big things. Mars, the planet of how we take action, how we get things done, the planet also of, I'd say, confrontation and power, Mars enters its own sign Aries. Mars is the ruler, the planet that rules the sign Aries. And when a planet enters its own sign, the sign, wow. I mean, whatever the sign means or the explanation for the sign, times 10, times 100, times 1,000. Mars, this forward going, almost explosive planet in some ways, is going to enter its own sign. It will usually, Mars is in a sign for 6 weeks, 1.5 months, 6 weeks. This time, Mars will be in its own sign Aries for 6 months until January 6th, 2021. So you've been put on notice. Be true to yourself. Be true to the cause that moves your soul, which hopefully is a cause that is positive, a cause that is about love for yourself and everyone else. It's about moving the planet and humanity forward, hopefully. Again, whatever you're passionate about, this is a great time for it because Mars is passion, Aries is passion, but whatever you're passionate about has to be for the greater good as well as for yourself. It can't just be some idea of a little group over here. It's got to be for the greater good. And the greater good means all of us. Mars is combative. That is not a bad thing. Sometimes you have to combat evil or wrongdoing. When you see it, note it, make plans, and deal with it appropriately. Mars is important for bringing things together so that there's a big change. Good. Note it, deal with it appropriately. Because this is a month, as I said before, it is a game changer. This is the time to do something. And it is a time to do something for all of humanity. Not just little groups, but all of humanity. And right now, from what we see out in the world, we need to do something for all of humanity, not only a day at a time, and a person at a time, a breath at a time. That something has got to be about centered from the heart, centered from your soul and the intention for your heart and your soul. So now we're going to move to the next big one, which is Jupiter, the planet of expansion, the planet of luck and blessings, beneficence, is going to come together. There are a lot of that coming together energy, isn't it? There's a lot of that going on this month. So Jupiter is going to come together conjunct Pluto, the planet of transformation, the planet of the big explosion, the planet of now. We're doing this now. So Jupiter, big and expansive and lucky and blessed, and the planet of transformation, change now. How do you make this work for you? Well, if you don't work for the greater good, what you're doing pretty much is you're running through the streets with a vial of some explosive in your hand, and that's going to explode. And when it explodes, there goes your hand, there goes the rest of you, there go your great ideas. Or you can understand, wow, there's a lot of power in this time. What I need to do is I need to harness that power, respect the power, and harness it and use it for the greater good. My good, our good. And as you do that, you'll find that there are hidden perks. Hidden perks. If you don't do that, if you go for the more negative approach or the mindless approach, there are hidden penalties, and those will come out. This is a time when what is hidden will come out. This whole month is telling you that. And what is hidden is not necessarily hidden from sight. It's what very often what we've hidden from ourselves, a truth we don't want to admit, something we'd like, hopefully it'll go away. No, this month is really about acknowledging what's here and taking responsibility for making sure you deal with what's here that truth in an appropriate way, and appropriate for the greater good. So the next thing we've got to do is understand that what happens by the coming together, the conjunction of Jupiter and Pluto this month, is it is part of a major shift, a big change. There are 3 times this year that this Jupiter Pluto conjunction will happen. This is, as I said, the month of the game changer. Make up your mind. Is there an organization you need to join? Is there something you need to be doing? Are you knocking on doors? Are you making phone calls and gathering support? Are you planning for what has to happen this year? Because the third time Jupiter conjuncts Pluto is in November when we vote. What we do now needs to lead up to what we will do then. Because by the end of this year, we will have decided by our action or our inaction the kind of world we're going to live in. Pretty much right now, a lot's being exposed. You need to decide what you are going to do to make sure we live in the best of times, that we live in the best possible way. And this month offers us that. It offers us an opportunity to see ourselves, to take the best of ourselves, and to make something wonderful from it, and to change what needs to be changed within ourselves, out there in the world, and how the world is conducted, how it conducts itself, and how it needs to be told what it needs to do in order to support us. We are supporting the world needs to support us. So that's it for now. And isn't that a lot? There's a lot going on. It's very exciting. I'm really excited about this. And all of these aspects are very, very important. And if you want further information and you'd like me to take a look at your astrology chart, please send me a personal message on yes, PM me and let me know, and we will make an appointment and set something up so that you can take full advantage. I think out of all the things that have gone on the last 4 or 5 years, this month is the most exciting for me because now we can get in, we can roll up our sleeves, we can get in there and we can put our hands to it. We can make this what we want and need it to be. We just have to be willing to show up for it. So lots of joy. PM me if you want to take a look at your chart and enjoy this fabulous month because it's already summer and the 21st makes it official. So take care and lots of joy to you.